Hi, I'm Dobby, but you can call me Dobbs. This is the 29th book review of my 100 Books of 2018 challenge. Today I'm reviewing Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. So this book was published 110 years ago. So for this reason, in this book, there's like a lot of complicated words, but even though they're really long and complicated, they're like really descriptive. So as an author, I really think this is like really helpful because it says things like dull, splendid, scrumptious, and tragic. And a couple of those words I'm going to be using in this book review. So, just a reminder, if you watched my book review for the second Mother-Daughter Book Club, they read Anne of Green Gables. So now I'm getting like, when I read it, I kind of like remembered Mother-Daughter Book Club. And like some of the parts were actually like it was really cool. But, yeah, please make sure to go check that out if you haven't already after this video. This story is about red-haired Anne Shirley. She's an orphan, and she has had other like guardians before, but now she's at the orphanage again, and Marilla and Matthew Cuthbert adopt her. And they think they're getting a boy, but they get Anne Shirley, an 11-year-old, red-haired, greenish, grayish-eyed girl. So in this story, Anne grows from a little girl to a young woman. And the Anne in like half of the book, like the little girl of Anne, she did like things that weren't so typical back then, and some of them aren't typical now even. So she like made up stories, she named things, and she talked a lot, and she said like a lot of big words. And Anne was a really creative, emotional, and energetic character. She's like a really lovable character though. So Matthew Cuthbert, one of the people that adopted Anne, is a shy and kind type of character. And his sister, Marilla Cuthbert, who lives with him and also adopted Anne, she's loyal and nice, but she's also like a strong, firm character. I really love this book, and I think it was splendid. I thought that it was going to be like a little dull kind of because it was written like a long time ago, but it really wasn't because like once I started reading, I just eagerly kept reading on, and like sometimes you felt like relieved or bad or happy for Anne. And I think that this book was really magnificent, and some parts were really like dramatic, and I liked that. It was really cool, like, yeah. For example, about the drama, there were like tragic parts and like really happy, jolly parts. And sometimes like some things weren't really a big deal, but when Anne said them and like talked about something, it did actually seem more dramatic and more like a big deal. And it was really cool. So that would be the end of my book review. If you like this video, please like this video. And while you're down there, please subscribe if you haven't already for more content like this. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.
Back in the days when I was young, for me Paris was just a song. Street lights were shining in